Okay, guys, we're going to hope here today to answer the question of, is a battery-powered string trimmer upgrade worth it? Is it worth the cost? And now, are we talking upgrade from gas, or are we talking upgrade from, you got a 20 volt model and you want to go with a 40 volt, right? Either way, it works the same. It's still going to be a potential upgrade for you. If you're going from a 20 volt model to a 40 volt model, one of the things, if you have a 20 volt string trimmer, you really did yourself and your string trimmer a disservice. You really need a 40 volt model. The 20 volt ones, those are like drill batteries, 20 volt drill batteries. That's not yard tools. Okay, that's, I'm hanging a picture tool, or I'm putting a bicycle together tool, or I'm putting a grill together tool. That's not taking care of business tool. And people have weeds in their yards. They need to take care of business. So you should definitely go with a 40 volt model if you're going to use it in your yard. So if you're going from a 20 volt to a 40 volt, you're going to see a marked difference, and you're going to be really happy with the change. You may have a bad taste in your mouth if you've been using a 20 volt model. It may leave a very bad taste in your mouth because it's not going to have the power or the longevity to get the job done. Go 40 volt. Battery powered tools perform better now than they have in the past. Like the past 5 or 10 years, they have made vast improvements on the battery tools and how well they work. I know we had an electric model 30 years ago. That thing was crap. It barely cut a dandelion, let alone thick grass. They're not that way anymore, guys. They are way better now than they used to be. I'm going to put a clip at the beginning of this where it just powers right through a pretty thick weed that I neglected to get to last year. They will save you money over time with fuel costs. So if you want to save a little bit of money over time, is it worth upgrading from gas to battery? Yeah, it is. Now, of course, how much it saves you in fuel costs is going to depend on how many batteries you have to buy for your area. Like I said, this battery will last me about an hour, and that is trimming a quarter-mile worth of fence, and plus around the house, around the garage, around the outbuilding, and around some flower beds and everything else. So I mean, at least a quarter-mile in the 1 hour. That's what I get out of this battery. I've got an extra battery that I have on charge for just when this battery dies, in case this battery dies before I'm done. I haven't had that happen yet, but if you got a bigger yard, you might need 2 batteries just to be safe. If you're going to be trimming for 3-4 hours, you might need a 3rd battery. That way 2 can be charging while you're using 1, and then cycle through them that way. I wouldn't go with more than 3 batteries if you're just using just the trimmer. Okay, if you're going to be using more tools, more battery tools from the same provider that use the same battery, you might want to get a few more. It's going to increase the cost of your initial setup, but in the long term, it's going to save you money on fuel costs. So if you're going to go with power tools for your yard, go with one model. That way you don't have to buy as many batteries, but you're still going to have to buy a few, right? I mean, if your mower uses 2 and you get 30 minutes of use out of both those, you're probably not going to be able to mow your yard. I wouldn't be able to mow my yard in half hour. It takes me an hour to mow. So I would need 4 batteries at that point. That way I could use the 2, and then swap them out and put those ones on charge. But then I wouldn't be able to trim, right? So I'd probably need at least 6 to trim as well. That can be quite expensive and add up in costs. However, it does take me about a gallon of gas, every 3 weeks? So that's $4 in savings. Doesn't seem like much, right? I've had these tools for a couple years now. The batteries are still good. You just gotta, don't leave them on charge all winter. But you can get a lot of use out of these batteries. And I think this battery was free. The other one I did pay $70 for. I've gotten my money out of it by this point. Plus the tools are still work just fine. Work perfectly actually. Is it worth it? I mean, to me, the instant start of the tool, the not having to smell the fumes of the fuel, that's worth it to me. It's as far as why to go with the battery. I don't have to smell the fumes. I don't have to mix the gas. I don't have to do any of that. And of course, I didn't go with a 20 volt model because I knew if you're going to do yard work, 20 volt won't do, guys. 40 volt. We'll put a link for this down below in the description if you want to check that out. But is it worth upgrading from 20 volt to 40 volt? Resounding yes. The tool's going to be more powerful. You're going to get more runtime. You're going to get the job done easier. Is it worth upgrading from gas to electric? Electric trimmers or electric tools nowadays are nearly identical in power to gas-powered tools, if not matching, right? Nearly to equal to, doesn't matter, close enough to get the job done. Most gas-powered mowers and trimmers are really wasting a lot of gas. They're not being efficient. Okay, and a lot of your trimming is going to depend on your string. A lot of your mowing is going to depend on your blades. So keep sharp blades on your mower and keep good string on your trimmer, and you've solved more than half the problem that you may run into with either electric or gas. So I'm just saying, is it worth it? In my opinion, yeah. And I'm not even talking about the environment. I'm just talking about ease of use for you.